What's good, YouTube? It's the Base God in Yu-Gi-Oh! Here on TeamBlackRainbow's channel, coming at you guys with part 2 of my September 2012 Banlist predictions. As you can see on your screen right now, you see the current cards that are limited, which also means they are at 1 right now when you do play the advanced and traditional formats. As you can see, there are some vanillas, but those are, pieces of Exodia, which, should be limited for a reason as long as Exodia is around. In a recent article I read from Joe Girlando, he thought that we should ban the head of Exodia and unlimit all of these. But that would completely kill the Exodia deck. That's one of the main hit or miss things of Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially with Yugi, he used that in his first episode. So, I mean, if you kill Exodia, you pretty much killed my childhood. And no one likes killing childhood. No, but anyways, onto the list. I have 5 cards. 4 of them are realistic, and the last one, if you can see right now, is kind of just a wish list on my part. But yeah, let's get into it. The first card that I would like to see limited would definitely have to be Insector Dragonfly. Too many times have I seen someone with complete control lose a game because of a top deck Dragonfly. The Dragonfly plus Hornet combo, they like +1, +2, and then they Centipede, and they just like, it's unfair. Plus, Dragonfly has 1800 defense too. Like, if you attack into that and you don't destroy it, they can activate its effect next time. So then you don't warning it, pretty much. But this card is definitely a problem because this is the card that generates all the pluses. People were thinking about banning Hornet, limiting Centipede, but if you did all that, if you banned Hornet, the deck would, I mean, people say, oh, it wouldn't die, it just requires more skill. Pretty much what you're doing is making this deck more into like an Exceed focused deck, because if you take away Hornet, which is like the popping factor, and all you have are like the Ladybug and Hopper, what are you going to do, attack directly all the time or make rank 4 or 5s? Then this deck would completely die out. Honestly, it would. People say that it won't die out. Let's see. Look what happened when like Lightsworns got hit, when Lumina went down to 1, when Necro got down to 1, when Plague went down to 1. Everything in that deck, like the consistency factor went down when Charge went to 1, sorry. Like, the consistency factor just went down and became pretty sacky. Like, you needed a god hand to win. That's pretty much what it is. So if you were to ban Hornet, this deck, I don't know, it would be one of those decks that you see that was on top of the world, but like just because of a ban list, it fell. Like Fish OTK, since they semi-limited DeLorean, it's not a card anymore. No, since they banned Fishborg. The banning of Fishborg was crucial to like 2 or 3 decks and completely made them unplayable. And it's going to be the same thing with Hornet if they were to ban it. But this is about Dragonfly, because this is a card that generates all the pluses. And, no one likes losing to a top deck Dragonfly. I've lost to it at Long Beach a couple times, at locals, and if you don't have the Veiler, if you don't have something to stop it, GG. Like, let's go game 2, let's go game 3, or extend the handshake and say good game, even though you sacked the shit out of me. But I mean, I will always have this hate for Insectors because of Long Beach. I played like 4 straight in a row, and this wasn't a good time for me. But yeah, the second card I think that should get limited is Rekindling. Many people are thinking, why Rekindling? We're barely getting levels right now, and people always use the argument that if it's not topping in the OCG, why would it get hit? So why did Reborn Tengu get semi-limited? They're just getting that card in October of this year. Plus Rekindling, plus levels, and I believe if that that card comes out in the TCG, the Foolish Burial on Crack for Lavels. From what I've heard, is if you have that card, Rekindling, and a level 1 tuner in your hand, that's an instant shooting Quasar Dragon if you know what you're doing. So, I'm not saying that synchros are bad for the, are bad. I'm just saying that they need to tone it down a little bit, not completely kill the deck, but give it a chance for more cards to enter while this card goes away. Because if you look at it, this card is super nutty. You can top deck this card, even in Flamvels, you top deck this card, one card can turn into like 2 synchros or like 5 monsters, top for game, whatever you want, Depends on what's on your grave and all that. And it's just really sacky to me, especially since I used to run Flamvels, and whenever you get this card off, you're in good condition. Plus, nobody likes losing, or nobody likes to get first turn Quasar, because it's really hard to try to get out of that situation, especially if you're playing a super slow deck like me. The third card I want to talk about is One Day of Peace. People are probably like, oh, why that card? Why? If you look at it, this card is the only reason why Final Countdown is so viable right now. If you take away this card, that's 2 turns, and that means your opponent has to stall even further, because this is probably the most effective card in Final Countdown besides Final Countdown. Because if you activate this, once you activate Final Countdown, that's 2 turns. So you have 3 copies, that's 6 turns out of 20. And you also get to draw a card. So it lets you draw into your Swift Iron Scarecrows, whatever, your Thunder Rulers, your Frozen Souls, your Hope for Escapes, Wabaku. It allows you to draw into everything. And in decks that are OTK based, if you activate this, so then your opponent can't OTK you, and then you go off your next following turn, it could be really crucial. This card is a setup card. There was this one duel where I think it was me playing. I got One Day of Peace, and then the next turn he just completely blew me out of the water because he was able to OTK me with Hieratics. It's crazy to get OTK'd nowadays because just no one likes getting OTK'd. At least I don't. If you guys like it, then be my guest. But as of right now, I think this card should get limited. Even Mega Capital G talked about how this card is broken, and I agree with him. Just because, it doesn't seem so great on paper doesn't mean, it won't work. If you want to OTK them next turn, you activate this, so then you can kind of set up, but you won't even take anything for the next turn. The fourth card I want to talk about is Evolzar Lagia. People think that Rescue Rabbit's getting hit. It's also you think that they should limit the vanillas or semi-limit them, but that's stupid. I think Evolzar Lagia should get hit just because if you look at 6Ms, their Shien got limited, and even though Shien is a way superior card than Lagia, it is so much easier to bring out Lagia than it is to bring out Shien, because Shien requires 2 cards at the least. Lagia really only requires 1 card, and that card is Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit isn't the problem card, the problem card is the card that Rescue Rabbit brings out, which is Evolzar Lagia. You can't hit Dolga because that's a TCG exclusive, or actually they could hit it, but people can easily get out of a Dolga, especially if you don't really run effect-based monsters. But this is a solemn judgment on legs. So if you ever try to top deck against Lagia, you're screwed. If you're top decking against a Dolga, you can top deck a Smashing Ground, Dark Hole, a BLS, a light pulse, or anything that can get over 2300, to be honest. And I just don't think it's fair that there's 3 of these monsters running around that can negate, like, pretty much at any time. The only downside about this is that it cannot negate flip summons, which is really awkward. But yeah, I think this card should be limited, because if you semi-limit it, people are going to be like, okay, we only run 2. That's like the same exact thing about limiting Spore or Glow Up Bulb. You can only activate it once per duel, so what would be the point? But yeah, this card, I honestly think this card should get limited to 1, just because it's easier to make than Xian, and it's no fun going against a first turn Lagia set 3. And I kind of felt like Rabbit was pretty much the same thing as 6 Sams, because it's more of a control based, but an anti-meta deck. Because they have all the trap cards, they have all the negations, they can stop you dead in your tracks pretty much. And this is the problem card of Rescue Rabbit, Dino Rabbit. And plus with the new Evil Swarm cards coming out eventually, you can run the Verzlagia with Dolkas, and just won't seem fair enough with Rescue Rabbits going around. And the last card I want them to bring back would have to be Goyo Guardian. I know people think I'm crazy, but honestly, Goyo Guardian is definitely top 5 top 5 synchros of all time. With Dark Strike Fighter, Brionac, Trishula, Goyo by itself. And there's just a bunch of like synchros that should come back. I think this card should come back, just because if you were to destroy and exceed, it wouldn't have any materials, which would kind of make its effect useless. And I think Black Wings deserve, a push, because this card was amazing in Black Wings, because Black Wings kick out level 6s like no other, with the Blizzard and Shura, the Blizzard and Bora, I don't know, it's just random stuff. But yeah, I actually don't have a real reasoning as to why Goyo Guardian should come back. I kind of just wanted to come back because this card was really cool when I finally got to use it back in the day. And it's been a while, Goyo Guardian 2800 Beat Stick, probably. This card is just so good and should be banned. But I just wanted to see it come back, because people are going to be like, oh wow, did you see what they brought off the list? Yeah, that's exactly how I felt this time last year when they brought BLS back. And I swooped some on Pojo before anyone else knew about them. So yeah, I hope that they can bring back Goyo. And it would be really fun with the format. But if you were to lose to Goyo, don't blame me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of my Banlist predictions. Remember, Insector Dragonfly, Rekindling, One Day of Peace, Evolzar Lagia, and Goyo should all go to 1, regardless of they're at 0, 2, or 3. They should go to 1. So comment, rate, like, subscribe, whatever, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. And stay tuned for part 3, which will be the semi-limited cards, which will be coming up probably in the next few days. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and Base God and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm out. Bye!